A rapper who goes by the name of Blueface appeared in court this morning. Police arrested Jonathan Jamal Porter yesterday at Lolo's Chicken and Waffles at the Hughes Center near Flamingo. A warrant was out for his arrest following a shooting that happened last month near Las Vegas Boulevard and Sunset.
From viral rapper to viral menace, Blueface's spiral from the top of the charts to the depths of chaos has been fast, loud, and downright outrageous. Whether he's beefing with Soulja Boy, trading shots with NLE Choppa, or fighting his own family and baby mamas, drama follows him like a shadow. But this time, it's not just headlines, it's handcuffs. After countless chances and court warnings, Blueface has finally been sentenced to 4 years in prison. Caught with drug paraphernalia while already on probation, the Bleed It rapper now finds himself facing the harshest consequence yet. Today, we're breaking down the wildest feuds, the non-stop controversies, and the shocking prison updates, including those strange new tattoos that have fans wondering if Blue's finally lost it for good. This is the never-ending downfall of Blueface, and this time, it just might be goodbye forever. Blueface may only be 28, but his journey through fame, controversy, and chaos has been nothing short of dramatic. Before Blueface was making headlines for his wild OnlyFans reality show featuring an underground subscription-based all-female fight club, he was already building a reputation that extended beyond music. Long before the fame, the controversy, and the viral antics, Jonathan Michael Porter was navigating a life split between sports, ambition, and the rough realities of his environment. Born in Los Angeles in 1997, Porter spent his early years in the mid-city neighborhood of central LA. After his parents separated, his childhood was marked by frequent moves. First to Santa Clarita Valley with his mother, then later to Oakland to live with his father. The neighborhoods he lived in were far from safe and often surrounded by gang activity. While his older brother was drawn into that world, Jonathan kept his focus elsewhere. In high school, he played the saxophone in the marching band, but his true passion was football. He stood out on the field as a talented quarterback, eventually leading his team to a championship run in his senior year. His skills didn't go unnoticed. He received several offers to play college football and ultimately chose Fayetteville State University in North Carolina. But his college career was struggling with depression and homesickness. Porter dropped out after just one season and returned to Los Angeles in 2016. With college behind him and no clear path forward, Jonathan Michael Porter found himself drifting back toward familiar territory, the streets. Having grown up around members of the Schoolyard Crips, the gang had always been in the background of his life. But now, without school or steady work, Jonathan started spending more time with them and eventually looked to become a full-fledged member. At the same time, he was trying to juggle street life with the remnants of a professional one, picking up odd jobs to stay afloat. One of those jobs was at Home Depot, but that ended abruptly when he was caught selling weed out the back. After being fired, Jonathan leaned fully into dealing, a hustle that rarely stays quiet for long. There isn't a lot of concrete information about his time as a dealer, but word on the street is that he got picked up by police more than once. One rumored arrest in 2016 in Santa Clarita has never been confirmed. No records have surfaced, suggesting that the charges may have been dropped, sealed, or whatever happened, it left behind only whispers. It was during this period that everything shifted. A fellow member of the Schoolyard Crips, who was also dabbling in music, invited Jonathan to tag along to a recording session. What started as a casual visit turned into a defining moment. After the session, Jonathan jumped on the mic himself just to try it out. The result? He liked what he heard a lot. That spur-off-the-moment decision sparked something in him. He quickly pivoted from street life to studio life, deciding that rapping would be his way forward. He started recording, sharing his music online, and pushing his name out there. Though he left most of the street hustle behind, his connection to the Crips remained front and center, right down to his new stage name, Blueface, a nod to the gang's signature color and his past. For a while, all of Blueface's energy was locked in on music, and that focus kept him out of trouble. But in November 2018, just a month after Pitchfork magazine had crowned him LA's most controversial rapper, his name was back in the headlines, this time for all the wrong reasons. It started at a Chevron gas station in Newhall, California. Blueface was parked when a stranger approached him, armed and clearly looking for trouble. The man pulled a weapon and robbed him on the spot. The suspect took off in a gray Dodge pickup, speeding toward the highway. Blueface wasn't about to let it slide. He jumped into his own vehicle and gave chase. Within moments, the two were speeding side by side, and somewhere along the route, shots were exchanged. Both drivers ended up losing control, crashing on the highway just outside Newhall. By the time police arrived, the chaos had already unfolded. Both men were taken into custody. Although Blueface had been the victim of the robbery, he was still found with a weapon and was arrested on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon, a serious felony charge in the state of California. It was the first time felony charges had been placed on his record, and the implications were major. He spent the weekend in county jail before posting a $50,000 bond on Monday. A spokesperson for the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station later confirmed that detectives had uncovered evidence of a robbery taking place before the shooting. That discovery aligned with Blueface's account, helping to paint him as a victim, rather than a public threat. Not one to stay quiet, the rapper immediately took to social media after his release. In a video filmed just outside the station, he declared, "Y'all already know I'm out on bail. Stop asking if they freed me. I freed me." With the help of his legal team, the charges were eventually downgraded to a misdemeanor weapons possession charge, still a headache, but far less serious than the original felony. On December 27, 2019, Blueface entered a no-contest plea, a legal move that meant he wasn't admitting guilt, but also wasn't challenging the charge. It was a way of closing the chapter without a drawn-out legal battle. For that, he was sentenced to 36 months of summary probation, ordered to complete 8 days of community service, and required to pay a series of fines and court fees. He managed to stave off law enforcement's radar for a brief stretch after that high-profile 2018 arrest, going a full 2.5 months without incident. But that streak ended on February 1, 2019. That evening, around 7 p.m., Blueface and a group of friends were hanging out in a neighborhood near downtown Los Angeles. They were drawing attention, wearing flashy jewelry, waving stacks of cash, and filming videos in the street. It was all part of the image, but it didn't sit well with local residents, especially since the area had seen a string of robberies in recent weeks. Concerned neighbors called the police, not necessarily to report a crime, but more out of fear that the group could become victims themselves, given how openly they were displaying valuables. But when the police arrived, Blueface and his crew didn't see protection. They saw trouble, and they ran. During the scramble, one of the men ditched a loaded firearm, which officers quickly recovered. Blueface and 2 others were caught and arrested because the gun was loaded and unregistered. Blueface was hit with a felony charge for carrying a loaded unregistered firearm, an offense that could land someone in prison for up to 3 years. He was booked and later released on a $35,000 bail. For a rising artist trying to focus on his music and avoid further setbacks, another felony charge was the last thing he needed. After news broke about Blueface facing yet another criminal charge, his manager, Wack 100, was quick to speak out. He publicly declared the rapper's innocence and insisted that the evidence would make that clear. According to Wack, surveillance footage from the scene had captured the entire incident, and fingerprint analysis would show exactly who had handled the weapon, not Blueface. As it turned out, Wack 100 was absolutely right. Blueface's attorney, Alex Kessel, confirmed that. The video evidence told a very different story from the police report. The footage revealed that officers had misidentified Blueface as the person in possession of the firearm. Video evidence demonstrated the police misidentified Blueface possessing a gun. Kessel stated, "Justice prevails through video evidence, a fair judge, and a bulldog attorney." A rapper prevails on the merits of the case, not his celebrity status. Once the truth came out, the charges were dropped and the case was dismissed. Blueface walked away from another serious legal scare, this time completely vindicated. Wack 100 wasted no time celebrating. He took to Instagram to post about the victory, writing, "Double dismissal, my lawyer threw them gloves on and beat another case," had Alex Kessel. Following the dismissal, Blueface seemed more determined than ever to keep his record clean. He began steering clear of any situations that could land him back in court. Still, trouble had a way of finding him. In June 2019, he was pulled over while driving his black Porsche through a quiet residential neighborhood. Officers claimed he had been speeding and removed him from the car, placing him in handcuffs as they investigated. With a pending legal case still hanging over him at the time, any arrest, even a minor one, could have led to serious complications. Fortunately, no traffic laws had been broken, and Blueface was let go with just a warning. But the experience had to be tense, especially with handcuffs involved and legal consequences looming. Oddly enough, just a month later, that same black Porsche was totaled. Blueface posted a video to his Instagram stories showing the wrecked car being hauled off by a tow truck, captioning it simply, "Another one." In August 2024, rapper Blueface was sentenced to 4 years in prison for violating the terms of his probation. The 28-year-old was found with drug paraphernalia, a direct breach of the probation terms stemming from past charges. The judge handed down the maximum sentence, marking yet another chapter in Blueface's long and turbulent legal saga. The courtroom scene was emotionally charged. Blueface's father, also named Jonathan, appeared visibly shaken in a video posted after the hearing. Fighting back tears, he shared his reaction with fans. "You can probably tell the results by the way I look," he said before letting out a pained scream. "They gave him for years. Stay strong." His mother, Carissa, also addressed supporters after the sentencing. "If you were in the courtroom, you heard Jonathan take accountability. You heard Jonathan sound like himself," she said. "He's in his right frame of mind. We didn't get the verdict we wanted today, but we got some closure. We got new beginnings. And we're all hopeful for this to go by smooth and quickly." Despite the harsh sentence, Blueface's manager, Wack 100, remained optimistic. He pointed out that the rapper had already served time, roughly 440 days since earlier probation violations, which could significantly reduce his stay behind bars. He got 4 years, 400-something days off, Wack explained. Comes down to 3 years. He goes to state. He'll be home in 9 to 10 months. Blueface's legal troubles have been mounting for years. In 2021, he was placed on probation following an assault on a nightclub bouncer in Los Angeles. That was followed by another probation agreement after a 2022 shooting outside a Las Vegas strip club for which he took a plea deal. In early 2024, his situation worsened. In January, he was sentenced to 6 months in county jail after shoving a fan during a live performance and yelling to his entourage, "Get her." Just 2 weeks later, while still behind bars, a Las Vegas judge issued an additional order for him to turn himself in again for violating probation in Nevada. Adding to the chaos, his girlfriend, Chrissy Rock, was also in legal trouble. That same week, she was extradited to the Northeast Oklahoma Community Corrections Center on allegations of possessing dangerous controlled substances with intent to sell. The couple shares a son, Christian Jesus Jr., the victims of Blueface. It all began with a rumor. Rapper Blueface found himself caught up in a storm of jealousy when whispers surfaced about his ex-girlfriend, Christian Rock, getting a little too close to fellow rapper Lil Baby, though the story lacked any solid evidence. Blueface wasn't having it. He took to Instagram Live to vent, visibly irritated. "I think you'd be letting too many rap dudes be in your face. That picture on my Twitter, it was Lil Baby, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't even like that. I'm a baby. We was talking about you." Despite Blueface's insistence, fans found it hard to believe that Lil Baby was seriously interested in Rock. But that didn't stop Blue from dragging him deeper into the drama. He even posted what he claimed were text messages between Rock and Lil Baby, using the moment to issue a not-so-subtle threat. "Met my girlfriend one time talking about, he big brother, you ain't no son to me. The truth could never be this. I run this be mad if you want to post my messages. Anything come through my territory without checking in. Welcome to death row." Lil Baby didn't seem fazed. Instead of getting into a public back and forth, he responded through music, taking a swipe at Blueface in an unreleased track snippet. "Put a hand up a million times. The expletive is a Blueface. Not one to let things go quietly. Fired. Back again." This time ridiculing Baby's friendship with billionaire Michael Rubin, who's been seen hugging the rapper in various photos. "How you let another grown man underscore up on your booty. Couldn't be me, boy. I am not a hoe. You dudes really in the street." In the street at this point, things veered into the absurd. Blueface began making wild claims, even suggesting that Lil Baby was the father of a child shared by him and someone named Quan. Lil Baby finally had enough and took to Twitter to clear the air. "I ain't with all this trolling stuff. I'd be laughing at certain stuff, but ain't now stop playing. I never tried to talk to no Chan. Please stop attaching my name to that. I saw her at a party and told her some real expletive. She'll know I never tried to talk to her. I know I bring attention, but Chan even trolling about a child and stuff is too far." Shortly after, Chrissy and Rock herself backed up Lil Baby's version of events, confirming that Blueface had spun the entire narrative out of his own insecurity. "See, he finally said it. Facts. Told y'all I've been attached to this name because my baby daddy, insecure as hell." Lil Baby, like many others, had unknowingly stepped into the chaotic vortex that is Blueface and Chrissy and Rock's relationship. A drama-filled roller coaster that has claimed more than a few unwilling passengers. Another example is KY Lie. Back in 2021, she and Blueface were seen getting close in a now circulating video. Their flings seemed short-lived and mostly uneventful until Chrissy and Rock decided to step in, believing that Lay was trying to come. Between her and Blue, Rock lashed out violently in public. According to her, Lay had ulterior motives. "I thought she wanted to do a collab for music, but really she was trying to edge me out. And my dude is expletive. I just wanted the verse. We fell out because she had a hidden agenda. When I saw her, I threw my phone in her face. I don't care. I'll buy a new one. She just wanted to sit in my face and smile. I don't know what it was, but I didn't care." Caught in the crossfire of Blue's infidelity and Christian's paranoia, Kai Loy paid the price simply for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But if there's anyone who's suffered the most from Blueface's behavior, it's undoubtedly Christian Rock herself. Their relationship began in 2020 when Christian gained notoriety on Blue Girls Club, a chaotic reality-style show hosted by Blueface on his OnlyFans account. Even then, she stood out for her erratic behavior, frequent fights, and wild antics. When the two made their relationship official, Cryon's fame exploded, but for all the wrong reasons. Blueface often showcased her most unhinged moments online, using her pain and outbursts for engagement and clicks. His mistreatment of her was so extensive that discussing it in full could risk demonetization of any platform hosting the content. What truly highlights the damage done is the contrast between the Christian Rock of today and the woman she once was. Before Blueface, she was a promising track athlete with a future. Now, every time her old photos resurface, fans are left stunned by the transformation. Despite their separation, their toxic bond still makes headlines. Whether it's public spats or concerning behavior like Rock's apparent struggles with alcohol, their saga plays out almost daily on social media, particularly Instagram and Twitter. Blueface's troubled relationships with women seem to trace back to his earliest years, and even his own mother hasn't been spared. Growing up caught in custody battles, Blue eventually became estranged from his mom, Carissa Saffold. At one point, she alleged she was attacked by Chrissy and Rock, posting photos of the incident and saying it marked the end of their relationship. But instead of siding with his mother, Blue repeatedly distanced himself. In interviews, he's openly dismissed her. "I don't have a mom," he once said. "She's weird, not in my best interest." He even accused her of being promiscuous and chasing wealthy men, declaring he had no respect for her as a woman. His family dynamic only grew more toxic over time. At one point, Blue's sister even dropped a diss track aimed at him. Outside the family, Blueface hasn't held back from throwing shots either. When Houston rapper Young Ro explained online why he hadn't spent big after signing to Meek Mill, saying he was using his money to help his grandma and mom, Blue mocked him for not being able to afford chains or houses. Ro, baffled, responded by calling out Blue on social media, and the back and forth only ended when Meek stepped in. Then came the random beef with the Island Boys. Blueface went live with the duo, mocking their street credibility and questioning their rap personas. While they got increasingly heated, Blue kept trolling calmly. Fans were left wondering what was even the point. Later, Blue claimed the Island Boys had DM'd in him first, acting like fans before suddenly turning on him. But when it comes to real tension, few rivalries stand out like his falling out with NLE Choa. At first, the two were collaborators, but things soured after Blue allegedly tried to take Choa's baby mama, Marissa Da, home from the club. Despite knowing who she was, when she rejected him, Blue didn't take it well. He ranted online, mocking Choa and denying any hurt feelings. Choppa responded by calling out Blue's disrespectful behavior toward women and accused him of sneaking. After all the back and forth with NLE Choa, talk of a boxing match between the two began circulating. But according to Blueface, the negotiations collapsed when Choa tried to take control of the terms. Blue mocked him on social media, suggesting he backed out after talking to his mommy, sarcastically asking if he wanted a Honda Civic as part of the deal. Even after that, Blueface didn't let up. He continued taking shots at Choa, even dragging his ex into it, posting, "I know NL baby, mama want to hit." It was typical Blueface, going after someone's partner, mother, or child's mother whenever a feud broke out. This same pattern showed up in his clash with Soulja Boy. The beef began when Blueface was asked whether he could beat Soulja in a versus battle, brushing it off like it'd be easy. Soulja fired back, listing his heavyweight collaborations: Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Buo, DJ Khaled, and mocking Blue for only having Thotiana. But Blueface took it to a much uglier place. In a volatile Instagram live, he claimed he had slept with Soulja's baby mama the day before her baby shower, sparking a war of words that escalated into challenges to fight both in the ring and in the streets. Soulja responded with rage, threatening violence and calling Blue a dead man walking. Things only got more serious when Jaqueline Martinez, the woman in question, sued Blueface for defamation, claiming they'd only had protected sex once in 2018 and never again. If she wins, it could prove Blue is lying just to humiliate Soulja, but that lawsuit pales in comparison to what came next. In November 2022, Blueface was arrested after allegedly shooting at a man named Cabia Trailer outside a Las Vegas strip club. According to police reports, Trailer made a joke about Blueface talking to women in a cheap car. Moments later, Trailer says he was attacked by Blue's entourage and then shot at as he tried to flee. Trailer claimed the whole thing started because of the shirt he was wearing, something Blueface's crew apparently took as a gang sign. Blueface eventually took a plea deal, avoiding jail time, but landing 3 years of probation and a ban from Las Vegas unless it's for work. At the time, it seemed like Blue had dodged a bullet until the strip club itself sued him. The club's owners claimed Blueface's actions caused them to lose their business licenses and shut down the top urban venue in Las Vegas. In an Instagram statement, they wrote, "Mr. Blueface decided to bring gang-related activities to our establishment. We will make sure he either spends his life in prison or pays us until the day he dies." Initially ordered to pay $13 million, the total has since climbed to $14 million with added interest. To make matters worse, Blueface recently violated his probation, thanks ironically to his ongoing drama with his baby mamas, Jean and Chris. His mother posted cryptically online, "Jadine got him one. Christian got him one. That violated the other. Now maybe people understand why I didn't want them together." Blueface surprises fans with new prison photos highlighting his unusual tattoos. Currently serving time for probation violations linked to a battery case, Blueface has managed to stay in the spotlight, even from behind bars. Though his access to social media is limited, whenever he does post, it tends to make waves. That was the case recently when he shared new photos from prison, leaving fans both intrigued and confused. The images picked up by Hollywood Unlocked show the rapper striking poses in various outfits, flaunting his physique and showing off an increasing number of tattoos across his face and body. While he didn't offer any captions or context, fans immediately zeroed in on the body art, some wondering what inspired the sudden ink surge, others just trying to make sense of it. Although some followers commented on his appearance or clothing, the tattoos sparked most of the conversation. The photos dropped amid ongoing drama surrounding Blueface, including unresolved tensions with former partners and industry peers. One such controversy involves a feud between Christian Rock and singer Connie. Rock claimed Kalani had once slept with Blueface, a claim Kalani denied. The fallout surprised many who had seen them as friendly, if not allies, and the online tension hasn't completely died down. At the same time, Rock continues to publicly reflect on her connection to Blueface, insisting she played a pivotal role in reviving his career. "I'm the reason Blue's at where he's at now," she said recently. "He was a flop. I put him back on the map." Despite expressing a desire to move on, it seems neither Rock nor Blueface can fully detach. Even with Blue behind bars, their connection, and the drama that follows, it shows no signs of fading. As Blueface serves out his sentence, and his future in the spotlight remains uncertain, fans are left wondering if this truly marks the end of his wild ride, or just the beginning of another chapter behind bars. With drama still swirling around him and old flames like Chrissy and Rock keeping his name alive, it's hard to say whether this is goodbye forever, or just a temporary pause. What do you think? Is Blueface done for good, or will he bounce back once again? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates. Until next time.